Up the road a little on Saturday. Ole Miss with a win over LSU. If you watched the first half, bless you.
It's ugly basketball.
Your eyes may have been bleeding. Apparently, somebody's ears were bleeding too. But there you go. It was rough. Ole Miss turned it over 9 times in the first half. Their season average is 9 turnovers per game. They look like a different team in the second half.
It's 3 games in a row they've done that too.
Mm-hmm. And frankly, if you're going to be great in one of the 2 halves, you'd rather finish strong than, as long as you don't play yourself out of the game in the first 20 minutes. Ole Miss goes to 3-0. The 12-point margin of victory, I think, is insignificant because that wasn't a 12-point game with the way that second half played out. LSU hit their last 3 shots of the game, and I'm just naming teams that didn't have anything to do with that game. I think LSU hit their last 3 shots of the game, and it made it a little bit closer at the end. Ole Miss dominated the second half of that game.
They did. And we don't know what the team's ceiling is because it is, it's Arkansas who's now 0-3 and LSU who's now 0-3. But by the way, to the people last week that were telling us that the Georgia win means nothing and they haven't played anybody, you might want to go back and check on that. That's going to end up being a good win for Ole Miss, it seems. But that defensive activity, that will travel. That is something that I think is replicatable and something that they'll be good at on a nightly basis. They're smart. They get into passing lanes, and they can get out and run. And I don't know if tomorrow night's a great get out and run opportunity for them, considering what Alabama can do. But the intelligence and the activity of them defensively is impressive.
So Ole Miss is off to a 3-0 start in league play, and it has not been the gauntlet to start conference play that they are going to see over the next handful of games. Kind of a favorable schedule to start. I think we have found that Georgia team is better. In fact, I think I told you guys the Monday after, it's like, man, I thought that Georgia team was a whole lot better than they played on Saturday because I had just seen them a week and a half or so before, and I thought that's a team that's got some pretty good pieces. And they've gone home, and they've won a couple of games since. Arkansas, obviously, is off to an 0-3 start in league play. I don't know what Arkansas is going to be when it's all said and done. I don't know if they're going to be like 6-12 in the league or if they're going to figure something out and be a 9-9 team. I don't know how it's going to shake out. But I do know when you play on the road in front of 19,000 people, that's not a super easy environment, and Ole Miss managed to get it done there. And then they come back and they beat LSU, and I think LSU certainly is one of the teams at the bottom of the SEC. But what does being at the bottom of the SEC mean right now? When South Carolina's kind of at the bottom of the SEC, they probably should have won against Auburn at home on Saturday.
Yeah, that was the guy got a timeout. I forget who it was for South Carolina. He was not out of bounds. It was not a tie-up.
No. Like they gave him a one hand on the ball tie-up.
Yeah, that was a joke.
Yeah, that was bad.
No, the 3-0 start is significant regardless of opponent. And again, like you said, the Georgia win's going to look better and better because now at this point, if we believe the magic number is 8, they have 15 games left. They have to win 5 of them. I mean, that's what a 3-0 start means. It's just the path is difficult. The league is brutal, but you don't have to be perfect or play above your head or catch any breaks, really. You just kind of have to play the way you've been playing. I know like there's a size issue, and they're going to have that size issue, and that's going to be bothersome. They can't have lulls like they had in the first half on Saturday night where they give up a 15-0 run to LSU. I mean, you're not. If you do that tomorrow, you're going to get beat by 40.
Whew.
I mean, you can't do that. But they play good defense. They're really active defensively, and you've got a group of guys that, I mean, any one of them can go off and give you offensive production at the right time. And now Malik Diaz is providing. I mean, he is now an incredibly difficult defend because he can make outside shots now with consistency without jumping at all. Hey, Dad, I don't know if you've watched him play yet. He does not jump on three-point shots. He is flat-footed.
It's a set shot.
He does not jump on his outside jump shots.
He has something in common.
It's amazing, but he can make outside shots. He's big body, so he's big guy that can make outside shots. He can put the ball on the floor and dribble. He makes mid-ranges, and the pick and pops or pick and roll stuff that they do. He's good around the basket as well, and that just. That's going to make them a tough out over these next 15 games. They are a good team. How good, we still don't know, but there are pieces there where you can look at them and say, I can get that team to the tournament. It's very easy to get yourself in that team and that roster the way they're built to the tournament.
If they're 1-1 this week, that's obviously, I would say, I'm not going to say 2-0 is best case scenario because that seems unlikely. 1-1 is best case scenario. But if they do go 0-2, I don't take anything away from that and go, well, they're not a good team after all, because they're playing two really tough teams on the road this week. So if they get one win, that's awesome for Ole Miss. That really solidifies things for them in the postseason. But even 0-2 isn't a deal breaker for them, assuming they don't just get run off the floor in both games.